You thought I fell off? You're smoking something.
Hello and welcome to Sports Tips UK. I'm Marcus J. Richardson.
And I'm Adam Thorn.
Today we're going to talk to you about the weekend of the 6th and 7th of October. Quite a few big fights this weekend, but we're going to start over in Yokohama in Japan with Inoue.
Inoue.
Inoue. Anyway, what are we going to say about him?
Anyway.
Okay.
This was for the WBA World Bantamweight title that he brutally dispatched Britain's Jamie McDonnell for in the first round 3 or 4 months ago.
In Mortal Kombat terms, a bit of a fatality.
It was. I mean, if you see the fight, McDonnell weighed in at 117 pounds and a half pounds, just under the 118 pounds limit. Walked into the ring at, I think, 143 pounds.
Wow.
So he put on 26 pounds overnight.
How can you eat?
If you look it up. You can find it on YouTube. Good quality image, all above board. It looks like a child beating up an adult, is what it looks like, because he's 4 or 5 inches taller than Inoue as well. And Inoue, this was his first fight at bantamweight. He'd moved up. He's a 3-weight world champion now.
Wow.
3-weight world champion in 16 fights. He's really, 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 really special.
He is, isn't he? I mean, he fights like something out of a computer game.
He's insane. His hand speed, his power. You know, if you were just doing pure stats like you used to do on Pro Ev or FIFA or whatever, he'd be brilliant.
Payano, I mean, let's be honest, he should put up a bit more of a battle than McDonnell
Juan Carlos
did.
Payano, yeah. This is a World Boxing Super Series.
Is it?
Yeah.
The World Boxing Super Series quarterfinal.
This is the bantamweight.
Quarterfinal, am I right?
First quarterfinal. Inoue was the number 1 seed, so he got to pick who he fought.
Right.
Obviously, he picked the guy that he thinks he's going to beat the easiest. Yeah. He got first dibs. He picked this one.
So the top 4 fighters get to pick 4 opponents.
From the bottom 4, yeah.
There's a pool of 8,
yeah,
and those 4, it's almost like playoffs. So first versus 8, second versus 7.
Almost, yeah. But then you could, if the guy in first thinks he'll beat the guy in second easiest, he can pick the guy.
Oh, so he can pick one of these. So he can pick any of the 7.
He gets first choices of any of the 7, as far as I'm aware.
With you. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So Inoue, he's ranked highest, obviously.
Yep. He's picked this Juan Carlos Payano. Inoue's got an astonishing knockout record for a guy that's been fighting down at flyweight. He's got 16 wins, no defeats, 14 knockouts.
14 knockouts.
So
that'd be lightweight.
That would be impressive for a heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's insane. Definitely, this is a really exciting tournament, this bantamweight.
Do we feel like Inoue can become, a Mayweather, Pacquiao kind of level fighter?
Depends how he goes through the weights. I mean, you've got a guy down at minimum weight, I think, who's like 50-0 or 51-0 now. But because he's down at minimum weight...
What's minimum weight?
The minimum weight. I think about 6 to 7 stone. Gets no airtime. It's a bit like the flyweights. Until recently, until the Superfly tournament, they weren't getting any...
There's a weight called minimum weight. No wonder he's 51-0, because there's nobody fights at that weight, surely, apart from brooms, ladders, like stools. There's nothing. There's nothing else. Light stands, like a lamp. So anyway, he's gonna fucking batter him, isn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, he selected this guy for that reason. I would have thought he's made all the right comments about wanting to fight the best, but then he's picked the shittest guy.
Right. Well,
but look, it's only his second fight at that weight.
He's done what we would all do, basically.
Yes, exactly. This guy's shorter than Jamie McDonnell, has a similar reach. He'll get
the odds. The odds aren't even worth including him though. So let's just move on. Anyway's going to batter him. Next fight: Callum Johnson versus Dimitar Berbatov. It's not. Who is it?
Artur Beterbiev.
Dimitar Berbatov versus Callum Johnson. Who do you think's going to take that one? I know you don't like me asking that straight away, but Callum Johnson is coming into this fight. It's a bit tricky for him. Dimitar Berbatov is a good fighter.
He is a good fighter. He's been a bit inactive. He's got 12-0 record with 12 knockouts at light heavyweight. He's the IBF champion at that weight. He's already won the belt in 12 fights. Callum Johnson is the British champion. Knocked out Frank Buglioni in 1 round in his last fight.
Yeah, which is very convincing.
Callum Johnson has got a Commonwealth gold medal to his name. They're both 33.
Right.
I thought Callum Johnson was a lot younger than that. Callum Johnson's got a brilliant story. You hear him in interviews, he comes across really well. Even what he's been saying about the fight, he's like, I don't know if I'm going to win. I'll find out on the night, won't I? He doesn't know that he's going to win. It's very rare that you hear a fighter with that honesty and integrity. He lost his dad and stopped boxing for a couple of years. His dad was his trainer and stuff.
Oh, no.
And he's come back and he's looked very impressive, knocking Wilberforce Shahipo out. But he's never fought at that level. He's not fought at world level. And Beterbiev is scary good. As much as you may want to back Callum Johnson, there's no reason why he shouldn't. He's not done down and out of this fight at all. But the sensible money would be on Dimitar Berbatov in this one.
Or what's his real name?
Artur Beterbiev.
Beterbiev. Sadly, I've never heard of Beterbiev, which makes me a twat. But
makes you a less serious fan.
A less serious fan. Hashtag casual. Hashtag fuck you. Beterbiev, Etar.
How do I see him winning? Are you going to ask me?
Yeah. Is he going to knock Callum Johnson out?
I hope not.
We're not caring what you're harping, we're caring what you're thinking. Is he going to knock him out?
Is
he going to knock him out?
I think his record suggests that if he gets to Callum Johnson, he will stop him unless Callum Johnson's got some sort of iron chin that we didn't know about. I actually think, and this was Spencer Fearon made this point, and I'm going to pick up on it, and I'm not going to claim it as my own, but what he said about Darren Barker when he got put down brutally in his world title fight, dragged himself off the floor and said that he was thinking about his brother, because his brother died very young, Darren Barker. He summoned up everything because he was thinking about that, and who's to say that Callum Johnson won't do that? So actually, with that in mind, I'm going to say Callum Johnson, here's the final bell.
Points then?
Yeah.
Okay, so points for Beterbiev.
It's in Chicago as well, so it will be on Sky Sports, so you can watch it in England.
So
but
it's a neutral venue really for both fighters.
I think Beterbiev fights out of the US, out of Canada now, so still
somewhat neutral. Okay, so you got Beterbiev, you've got Inoue, but the odds will be shit on that. And then the final one we're going to cover on that night is Ohara Davies fighting
Jack Catterall.
Now, Jack Catterall is slight favourite in this one, but you fancy Ohara Davies?
I do fancy Ohara Davies to win the.
You could.
Look, I've met Ohara Davies a lot of times. I've seen him sparring in the gym. We know West Ham gym where he is now with Barry Smith very well.
Was a little bit of controversy in his career last year, wasn't there?
There was, and that's when he dropped by Matchroom and ended up training with Barry. And
who's his promoter now?
Frank Warren.
Okay.
So it's a Frank Warren show. There's a lot of other fights on that show, so do keep an eye out for it. I'm sure it'll be on BT Sport or something. But we're picking on the Ohara Davies one because it's an interesting fight. It's a really good, decent scrap. Dubois was 100 to 1 on or something stupid. So fuck that.
But Catterall, who's he with? Is he with Frank Warren as well?
I think he is, yeah, because he was on their last show in Belfast recently, and he fought Tyrone McKenna. And Tyrone McKenna is long, gangly and awkward, but was expected to lose. And actually, it was quite a decent scrap. That's what made me think OD's got the power to hurt Catterall, because OD can bang. I mean, I showed you his knockout just now. It was his last fight, Paul Kamenga. So I'm fancying OD in this one. I really do. I think he'll get to Jack Catterall, and I think he'll force him to quit eventually.
So you think he's actually going to get a stoppage out of it as well?
I hope so, because I like Jack Catterall as well.
Put it this way:
I hope so, because
I know you didn't back Callum Johnson, but just as an outside bet worth maybe a fiver if you just got a spare fiver knocking about, Callum Johnson to win and OD to win, Ohara Davies, you can actually get 10 to 1 on that. Obviously, the bookies don't fancy Callum Johnson to get the victory there, but it's not a bad shout, if the heart comes over the...
Yeah, it's all about how you bet. If you bet with your heart because of what you want, if you're one of those tactical bettors where you bet against the guy you want to win so that if he loses, you at least have a bit of money out of it. Well, it's all up to you, but...
If you fancy Ohara Davies, I will also put Ohara Davies and Beterbiev in there on the right-hand side as well. So your left-hand side, my right-hand side, everybody's hand-hand side. You can have a look and see what you think.
Good night of boxing, plenty to watch that night. Obviously, bet responsibly.
When the fun stops, stop. If you're going to bet more than a fiver, it's probably not worth watching us because we very rarely get it right. Anyway, I'm Marcus J. Richardson.
And I've been Adam Thorn.
Until next time. Peace.
Smoking something.